Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker. There's no Micah Richards with us today. Unfortunately, he's abroad filming A League of Their Own for a couple of weeks, I think. I don't know. Oof. My worst nightmare, that would be. Anyway, we heard on Sunday evening how he was travelling straight from the Etihad after Manchester City's celebrations to Dover for the trip. So we're looking forward to hearing all about his adventures when he gets back. We're going to do something a little bit different today from the usual Wednesday question and answer episode, as it's the end of the season. With the Premier League closing and at the weekend, we're going to have a little awards ceremony of our own. Alan and myself are going to pick our Premier League teams of the season, and then we're also going to choose a few individual awards like Player of the Year, Signing of the Season, Surprise of the Season, etc. So let's get straight onto it, and we'll start with our team of the season, and we'll start with the goalkeeper. First, can we say... don't take this too much to heart at home.
Don't get too angry.
No, don't get too angry if we miss your favourite player out. It really doesn't matter that much because there's actually no prizes at stake. But Alan, you do a team of the week, don't you? Every single thing, and I always see it on your Instagram feed. And always underneath it, someone goes, "Yeah, well, what about so-and-so?"
All the time. I get absolutely bloody I just press send and then don't look for another 2 or 3 hours because I know everyone's just going to... If their player's not in there, then you just get absolutely bad. What about him? What about him? It's like,
I suspect that's about to start to both of us now. We've let ourselves in for this. Right, we've done a little bit of pre-work, and again, if one of your favourites is missing out, sorry, you can disagree and you can do your own team. You can perhaps send it in to us, whatever you want to do. I've got 5 names for us to go at: Jordan Pickford, David Raya, Edison, Alisson, and Bernd Leno. So I tell you can start with the goalkeepers, Alan, because you've knocked a few goals past them in your time in the Premier League.
For me, there was 2 I was debating with, and those 2 were Pickford and Raya. I think the season that both of them have had have been outstanding. Raya was under huge pressure because Arteta put his neck on the line, really, didn't he? When he sort of brought him in.
Well, he did, didn't he?
With
Aaron
it's worked
Ramsdale.
really well. It's worked really well. Kept loads of 16 clean sheets, best defensive record. Obviously, that's helped with the players in and around him. But for this one, I'm going to go for Pickford.
Are you?
I am, yeah.
I'm going for Pickford.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And I thought, I'm really surprised we agreed on that one because I thought you won't go for that. For a variety of reasons. I think he's been unbelievable. He's a lot busier, obviously, than someone like Raya. I think Edison and Alisson are great goalkeepers, aren't they? But they've both made 1 or 2 mistakes this season. David Raya, I think, made 1 or 2 mistakes early on, but I think he bounced back well. Whereas Pickford, obviously a lot busier. He's made 121 saves compared with Raya's 46, Edison's 57, and Alisson's 83, which is quite a lot. And he has conceded more goals than most of the others. But I think he's been brilliant this season. One of the reasons that Everton have managed to stay up despite getting their point deduction, and it's hard to think of 1 or 2 mistakes, but not many. I think he's calmed himself down a fraction.
Just a little bit.
Still gets a little bit overexcited, a bit exuberant at times. But yeah, I agree with you on that.
Well, that's something very rare that we can agree on. That's a good start, isn't it, Mr.
We might agree on everything. We might. But yeah, I think. The chances are, if you're near the bottom of the league, goalkeepers get a bit more practice, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's been a really tough season for Everton, as you know. I think with the points deduction and with everything else, and I think he's been excellent. I think he's more than played his part and doing what Everton have done. He's pulled off some vital saves in really important moments, which you have to do. And I agree with you. He has calmed down a little bit. I mean, because there are times when he gets stupidly excited, doesn't he? When he rants and raves and goes for whatever reason. But Not seen as much of that this season, and I think that's helped him in his performances. So yeah, Jordan Pickford for me.
Yeah, well, we're agreed on that. And he's made some unbelievable saves this season. There's no question about that. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to right back. Shall I go there? We'll alternate. I'll go.
You can go.
First.
I'm not into this. You have to play a certain system. Mine's going to be, as you said, it's not too serious.
Fine.
We don't have to
No,
go.
exactly.
I'm just going to mess around with my system. And so, yeah, I'm not going to have a right back. I'm going to have 3 centre-halves. But one of them has played right back for most of the season.
Yeah. You can have 3 centre-halves. Okay. No full-backs at all? Or wing-backs?
No full-backs. I'm not having any full-backs or wing-backs, no. I'm just going all out. I'm going
Harry next
all
to
out
me is
attack.
going to write these teams down in kind of formation order. He's starting to sweat. Right, I am going to have a fullback in my team, and I'm going to go with Kyle Walker.
All right,
because I think he's so important to Manchester City's way of playing. That because they play so high and so many players up the pitch, that he's the one who has to get back, and I think he's remarkably consistent. And one-on-ones with anyone, they can't beat him. It was between him and Ben White for me, between the two, and I think Ben White's had an absolutely brilliant season. He's a superb player. I just hope and wish there was a way that Gareth Southgate could make his peace with him and get him out there, because obviously with the injuries that England have got at the moment, particularly in full-back positions, and I suspect he could play anywhere across the back four because he was a central defender, of course. I think it'd be a really good addition. I understand it's some kind of fallout with the number 2 or possibly that, but I mean, come on.
Such a shame, man.
We're adults, aren't we?
Man. You're going into you've got a Euros tournament. You've had a season like Ben White has had, and he's not going to be in that England squad. It's just, it's such a shame. Come on, guys. Whatever it is, whatever the reason, God, you've got to sit down and clear the air and say, let's just sort this out for the sake of our playing for our country. They've got an unbelievable chance of winning the Euros. Yet he's not going to play a part in that after the season he's had. What a mess! What a shame!
I totally agree. Let's sit down round a table and just, things happen, don't they? Things happen in football camps. You have fallouts, but come on, we're all grown ups here, aren't we?
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, so, all right. Well, you go with one of yours, or shall I go? You've confused me now. Now you've changed your system. What's your formation? What's your formation first?
I'm going with 3 centre halves.
Yeah,
and the first centre half is Ben White.
Oh, okay.
Playing on the right hand side of a 3.
Yeah. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're sort of the same. I've got Kyle Walker. You've got Ben White, but I hadn't really thought about my bloody formation until you mentioned.
I just knew when I put my players down, you're going to take the piss out of the formation. But as we said, I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah,
these are players that deserve to be in my team in the season.
It's a way of getting all the players you want in.
Correct.
All right. You see, you're an experienced cookie on this because you do it week in, week out. And I don't. I've just gone, I don't know, I've gone 4-3-3, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So, yeah, I must agree, Ben White's been fabulous this season. And very consistent, isn't he? Good footballer. Yeah. Great sunbed performance.
He's been superb. I wouldn't argue against yours. Kyle Walker, I think he's played a huge part again. Trippier hasn't reached the heights for Newcastle as he did last season. I know he's had injuries, made a few errors recently. So
I think Porro's worth a shout. Just a shout out. I think he's done really well. Come in, obviously, the season before. I think he's made a lot of progress.
Agreed.
This season.
Totally agreed. Yeah, I think those. You couldn't. Trent's had injuries as well, hasn't he? So
yeah,
could you put him as a right back now? I suppose that's his
Trent.
position, but yeah,
he's still playing right back for Liverpool, isn't he? And he occasionally played in midfield, but he's kind of the inverted fullback, isn't he? He goes and does what he wants, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I hope the new manager, when he comes in, plays Trent in midfield at Liverpool. I think that's his position. I really do. I always have.
Yeah,
and
let's
it'd be
see.
lovely
Let's
to see
see,
him. Yeah, play there regularly. So, go on. Who's your second central defender?
Gabriel.
Yeah. I understand that. Absolutely right. I've got the Arsenal duo. Have you? Saliba and Gabriel.
I've gone for a full Arsenal back three, of White, Saliba and Gabriel.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone can argue with that, with the record that they've
Yes, they will, Alan. People will argue with that, but
well, that's fine. I'll just come back and say, look at the number of goals that conceded. They've been outstanding, all three of them, this season.
2 months ago, I think I'd have had John Stones in there because of the remarkable way he was playing. But then Pep being Pep, suddenly, I mean, he had a bit of injury and then he's not really got himself back into the side of late.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gabriel and Saliba, that partnership, I mean, they don't give many goals away at all, do they?
They haven't. They've been as mean as they come. They've got pace, reliability. They've just been superb. They've very, very rarely put a foot wrong this season, and they've had to be magnificent, and to keep going and put in the performances week after week after week against some top quality players. Then I've been huge. You can not be anything other than hugely impressed with them.
Yeah, I totally concur with that. I think that there's a goal threat, isn't there? The other end from corners, they're a real threat, both of them. I think particularly Gabriel. He's kind of the determined hard man, isn't he, in the way they play? And Saliba's the kind of Rolls Royce type, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he's such an athlete, Saliba, and he reads the game so beautifully, and he times his tackles. He's one of those, a little bit like Virgil van Dijk, who, probably 2 months ago he'd have probably been in as well, but obviously Liverpool went off the boil a little bit. But Saliba's a little bit like that. You don't see him on his backside very often. He's got great balance. He's quick.
Pierce.
He's good on the ball. Yeah, he's got it all. So so we agree with that. Now, I've gone with obviously a left back, whereas you've gone with a three. So I'm actually going to go with Destiny Udogie. Now I know he's been injured over the last month or so, but I think out of all the left backs, I think because a lot of teams don't play, as you say, they might play your kind of way. But I think Udogie's going to. I think he's probably the best Italian player around at the moment.
And in that system, he's done well in that system because it's. I mean, Postecoglou's come in, hasn't he, and changed the system around, made them far more easy on the eye and attacking, and he asks big things of both his fullbacks when they've got the ball to get into that midfield again. So he's had a good season. Yeah,
I think he's one of the reasons that Spurs kind of tailed off a little bit, that injury that he got, and it's a real shame that he won't be at the Euros as well. But I'm sure he'll take massive consolation out of the fact that he's in my team. One shout out for Josko Gvardiol.
Gvardiol, yeah,
because I was close to him, but I just don't think he quite. I don't know. I thought he didn't play left back all the time. He kind of plays anywhere across that back four. But I mean, I was very close to selecting him, but I think my slight
goals as well,
bias came in. He scored one or two crucial goals at the end of the season, so he nearly sneaked in. But you can't have just Man City and Arsenal players, so there you go. Right, so have you got? I'm trying to work out your midfield. You've got two midfield. This is thrown us because of two different systems.
I've got two sitting midfielders. Yeah.
Two. Okay. Who are they?
Who are they? I've got Rice and Rodri.
Yeah. I think I've got both those in as well. I don't know what kind of bloody system I'm going to play. No.
Play whatever system. Just put 11. It doesn't matter. You just got to put 11 players out.
Yeah. No, I'm going to play Rice and Rodri and then like a 10 and then 3 at the top.
Yeah.
So
fine.
If that's all right with you.
That's fine with me.
We're looking remarkably similar in our games. Declan Rice, what a season he's had. It's not always easy going to a new club. It's especially when you're carrying a price tag like his, over £100 million, which seems mad for a holding midfield player. But out of all those there were a few of them, weren't there, that went for about 100 million last summer, and he's by far been the most impressive.
I saw him last pre-season in a restaurant in Portugal, and he was with a couple of his pals, and he come over and had a chat, and I was saying to him about season ahead and how much is the price tag, and it's like, but he was just like so relaxed. He was so looking forward to it. I mean, he was on a break. He had loads of energy. He was going back the following morning to sign for Arsenal, and like I just had a feeling like he's going to smash it this season, and I think that's exactly what he's done. He's been superb, and whether he's had to protect, win that ball, drive forward. I think he's had the complete season that you'd hope for him, because it's not easy when you've got a massive, although it's no fault of your own, when you've got a massive price tag around you that everyone's always looking for something, but he's not given them anything to have a pop at him. I think he's just been superb in everything he's done.
I think he's also, it's like you said, it didn't faze him when you met him that day, and it's not fazed him since. He's incredibly likeable.
Yeah.
He's got, I think, probably real leadership qualities. You can see how important he'll be for Gareth in the summer, and he can play as well. I mean, he keeps the ball. He looks forward. He's very good. I think one of his great strengths is running with the ball, because he can burst through the lines, and he moves really quickly with the ball at his feet. And yeah, I think he's going to be hugely important in the summer for England, and he's been hugely important for Arsenal this season. He'll be, like all the Arsenal players, he'll be choked to have missed out on actually winning something, but what a performance this season. He's also chipped in with one or two more goals, because towards the latter stages of the season he played in slightly more forward, more of perhaps an 8 than in some ways than a 6. And he chipped in 7 goals, 8 assists.
7, yeah.
7 goals,
which
8
is I think it's a really good return for a midfielder that's expected to do a bit of everything. So yeah, he's had a brilliant season.
I don't think anyone would have a team of the season without Rodri in it. What a player Rodri is! I mean,
he is, yeah.
They're
not the same. They're not the same without him, are they?
Well, I think it was.
They haven't had to do without him very, very often. But
I think it was 1986 the last time Manchester City lost a game with Rodri playing. I mean, 34 games he played for them in the Premier League without losing any of them. 70 tackles, 8 goals, 9 assists. Here's the one, right? I mean, we know Rice has played every single game this season, had 38 games, and made 2,227 passes. Rodri, how many?
How many did you say for Rice?
2,227.
2,900.
3,633 in 4.
Wow.
4 fewer games.
Wow.
I mean,
hell.
That's 1,400 more or less, more, 406 I think, more than Declan Rice. I mean, but the thing is as well, the vast majority of those passes, well, pretty much all of them will be accurate. He's also a bit of a master at the old naughty foul to stop the play when they break, which Spanish players do tend to be, a la Busquets, Xabi Alonso, to name but two. And but he's intelligent, and he always chips vital goals in big games.
He has, exactly. I mean, we just said about Rice, goals and assists, but he's what's he got? He's got 8 goals and 9 assists, so he's got more than Declan Rice, but he's integral to everything. I mean, he's such a, you know what, he's a great reader of the game. Is that he just anticipates things a lot quicker than most. And that's why he's as good as they get when he can spoil it when the opposition have got the ball. But he bloody reads it so well and knows where the ball's going to get to.
I was reading a piece the other day about Rodri, and they were saying that he's still underrated, really underrated player. And I thought, is he? Is he?
I was going to say, who underrates him? By who?
I don't know.
He's superb, man. He's just magnificent. Yeah.
It's actually 74 games in all competitions that he's gone since Manchester City. So I was exaggerating slightly.
Oh, he's brilliant. Yeah.
But absolutely fantastic. I'm trying to work out how many players you've got left and how many players I've got left.
Well, my other one in the midfield is Odegaard.
Odegaard, you've got him in, have you?
I've got him in, yeah. Had to get him in, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got him playing in front there.
Just in front, yeah.
So I'm working out I'm trying to work out your system here.
3-2-1 at the minute.
You're just going to fit him in anywhere, aren't you?
Ted Rogers, 3-2-1.
Ted Rogers you've got in. Oh, that's good. I'm not sure about his statistics this season. Was he the dusty bin? Was he dusty bin, Ted Rogers? I think he was, wasn't
3-2-1, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it. I remember that. Our youngsters won't know young listeners won't know what the hell we're on about here, but I think it was the dusty bin.
Showing our age, you old fart. I had to get Odegaard in though. He's been brilliant, hasn't he?
Yeah, you've got him attacking midfielder sort of thing. One or two other midfielders I think we perhaps should mention that have had good seasons. Douglas Luiz, I think.
Yeah.
At Aston Villa, I think he's been really impressive and part of that excellent Aston Villa side.
Bruno Guimaraes, Newcastle.
Guimaraes, I thought you might mention him. He's
been really good. Beat
me to it. Now, when we come to attacking midfielders, you've already gone Odegaard. It's a tough one because there's so many, aren't they? So many brilliant players this season, and that's why I've actually gone where in my attacking midfield play I've gone Cole Palmer because I think his season is truly extraordinary. He didn't start a game until the 9th or 10th game of the season for Chelsea. But he ended up 22 goals, 11 assists, and he's created 17 big chances. And the reason I've got him in there, and I'm going to play I'm now inventing a system. Because I've got to get Phil Foden in there as well.
Yeah.
Him and Phil Foden, because obviously he'll be in everybody's team. Him and Phil Foden are going to kind of rotate around a little bit. So
I'm going to do exactly the same.
So yeah, you could tell that neither of us would be very good managers.
Yeah, but it's our show. We can do what we want and play whatever system we want. So
yeah, we can exactly. It doesn't really matter about the system. It's about putting the players in there. So I think Cole Palmer and Phil Foden, but I think I've had to put Cole Palmer in purely because not only has he been absolutely outstanding, but he's done it in a side that for most of the season until the latter stages has really struggled. And he's carried them. And that is a very difficult thing to do, particularly as a young player, particularly coming in as a new signing. When the club's in a little bit of turmoil, a little bit of a mess, when they're really struggling on and off the field, for a young player to do what he's done, I think it's extraordinarily impressive.
Unbelievable.
You got him in as well?
Yeah, he's in my team. I don't care where he plays, but he's in the team. So you're right. I mean, again, a big price tag. Everyone's going to be looking at him because City have sold him. What can he do? We all knew that he had talent, but I didn't expect him to light up the Premier League like he has done for Chelsea. I mean, you are right when you say he has single-handedly carried Chelsea this season. I mean, they've had a brilliant end to the season, sort of last 2 months or so. But he has been, ever since he got in that team, I mean, he's pretty much been faultless. And you know what else? He's been brave. You know, he's been, like in big games, penalties where he's had to stand up there and went under huge pressure. And he's made everything look stupidly easy for someone so young. I mean, that in itself has been so impressive.
Yeah, I totally agree on that on every front. Phil Foden, 35 games, 19 goals, 8 assists, 10 big chances created. He's been I mean, he's come on. He's continued to improve season in, season out. I think Pep Guardiola's nurtured him very well. I think he's not overplayed him in the earlier seasons, but now he's very much one of his big go-to players. He's turned up in the really big games, scored amazing goals at key moments this season. The way he takes the ball on the half turn, he always seems to make the right call on that, and he's really sharp as well. There are similarities with Cole Palmer, but he's a bit more dynamic, a bit sharper in that sense. That Cole Palmer's more of, he glides, he's effortless, isn't he? They're similar but different.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. I mean, he's a very, very good player, but I think he's an unbelievable player in the 10 role. I think he's excelled in that role. Even when De Bruyne was missing, he was the one that they thought that he was the go-to guy again. He's just been. I mean, I can't think of any other words that we can describe his performance as: sublime, magnificent, whatever you want to call it. Goals, assists, everything. As you say, taking that ball on the half turn, he looks so comfortable in doing that. I mean, his goal at the weekend against West Ham, after what was it, a minute or two, was just typified his season that he's had. The touch, the technique, and then the finish. Wow, incredible.
I mean, Footballer of the Year says it all. I mean, we've not yet got the PFA Footballer of the Year, have we? So, but I'd be surprised if he doesn't get that as well. But we'll see. Yeah. My other kind of player across, I've kind of gone a 4-2-3-1, I suppose. Okay. I've gone on the right hand side, Namdenard, because as I told you, my three are just going to rotate. Yeah, so they can play where they want. I was wrestling between actually Saka and Gordon, and I could have played Gordon on the left, but I'm going to play Saka on the right instead. I think his numbers just include, he's remarkably consistent. 35 games, 16 goals, 9 assists, created 15 big chances, whereas Gordon was 11 goals, 10 assists, and created 16 big chances. I have to say that I think Anthony Gordon has been absolutely brilliant in his first proper season at Newcastle.
He has. He's been Newcastle's best player this season.
Have you got him in? I
haven't got him in. No, I didn't put him in. No. Very, very close to. I was the same. 1 minute I had Saka, the next I had Gordon, then the next I was chucking Haaland and Watkins, and I'm thinking that, I can't get them all on the team, but without doubt, Gordon's
you put Odegaard in. I forgot about Odegaard.
Put Odegaard in, and I couldn't. I haven't put Saka in either. No. But yeah, both of them. I mean, they've been brilliant.
Tell us about why Odegaard's in. I mean, he's obviously a superb footballer.
Yeah, he's just so easy on the eye, isn't he? I mean, he's got one of these. I don't know. He's just
a bit like Cole Palmer, actually, isn't he? And it's graceful.
Yeah, he makes everything look comfortable and easy, and of course it's not. And I just think that his balance and everything else is his technique and yeah, he's been a huge part in what Arsenal have done. So I just thought I had to get him in the team because he's been superb.
Yeah, as I mentioned for one or two others, Kevin De Bruyne, but I think he's only played 18 games in the Premier League this season. Obviously, he was injured for half of it, but he still got close to my team despite all that because he's so damn good.
Yeah,
I think Son's had a decent season at Tottenham, considering he's lost his strike buddy, Harry Kane. Mo Salah hasn't got in the side, which is, you wouldn't have thought that at the start of the season, but he still had a decent campaign, or tailed off a little bit towards the end, didn't he? Lost his form. Any others you considered, Alan?
No, I mean, when we get into the forward positions, that's sort of different, isn't it? But I don't know. I mean, we mentioned Isak. Havertz, we sort of mentioned, haven't we? Havertz as well. But, I mean, De Bruyne just hasn't played enough games, although when he has been in, he's been unbelievable. Salah, as you said, I mean, what's he got? 18 goals. It's still a decent return, but he hasn't looked as sharp as he has done in previous years.
Yeah. And I don't think I'm a player. You're a player short on me at the moment somewhere. Who've you got?
Well, I've got my three centre halves, as we know, we've mentioned. I've got the three in midfield: Rice, Rodri, and Odegaard. And then up front, I've got Palmer in the team.
How many? Hang on, what you got for up front?
Well, I've got Odegaard and I've got Odegaard and Foden in there doing whatever the hell they want, playing anywhere they want.
There, yeah. So you've got like a box, have you? Two and two. You know the old box in the midfield.
Exactly.
I'm bailing you out here, Alan. Not because
thanks, guys.
I'm trying to work the system out. So Foden and Odegaard like rotate, and then you behind them Rice and Rodri.
I've got Rice and Rodri, and I've also my front three, if you like.
Yeah, go on.
Palmer. Yeah. Watkins, Haaland.
Watkins and Haaland?
Yep, and Haaland, yeah.
Okay, who's playing on the left side?
Wherever they want. They can play wherever they want, guys.
You just named 11 players, haven't you? Basically.
Yeah.
Well, my striker is actually... I've gone with Ollie Watkins ahead of Haaland. Right. And if I had to pick a team to play tomorrow, I would put Haaland in. But I just think this season, Ollie Watkins has been extraordinary. And I think Haaland's been missing a little bit. So he's only played 31 games compared with Watkins' 37. Now, I know he scored a number of more goals. But goal combinations between them, it's 32 Haaland and 32 Watkins. Watkins has done it in a few more games. But what I'll say is that Watkins has done it for Aston Villa and Haaland's done it for Manchester City now. Obviously, there's pressure on Manchester City, but the way they play, I think you and I could still probably bang in 10, 15 goals a season for them. And I love Erling Haaland, and he's amazing. But I just think this season, Ollie Watkins, for what he's achieved and what he's done, and his consistency, and the amount he's played, and his effort, and his work rate, and his all-round game, I'm just edging him ahead of Haaland, and I wrestled with this one because, if I had to pick a team tomorrow to play, Haaland would be ahead of Watkins. I'd say that. But on looking back on this particular season, even though they're probably going to win the League and Cup double, Manchester City, and he would have played an important part, I'm going to go Watkins anyway.
Can I give an honourable mention for Isak? Without sounding
I was going to do that anyway, Alan, but yes, you can. 30 games, 21 goals.
Yeah, which is a great return. Isak's had a great season, as has Ollie Watkins. I've been really impressed with him. You know, he's I think he's improved in so many areas, and Unai has obviously helped him in doing that. He's scored a lot of goals. He'll be in the England squad. He's probably England's number 2 centre forward, I guess now, isn't he? He's played himself, hasn't he? Yeah.
Definitely, so must be.
He'll play a part for England because we know that. I mean, Harry won't play in every minute of every game, I don't suspect. So he'll have to play a part for England this year, and he deserves to be there after the season he's had.
Yeah, I think also worthy of a mention, Dominic Solanke.
Yes, yeah.
I think, to do what he's done at Bournemouth, 38 games, 19 goals, so it's a goal every other game. And
he missed an absolute sitter, didn't he, at the weekend? Which would have got him to 20 goals. And I know it's when you're 20's like I don't know what it was. I always used to set out every season thinking, right.
It's like if you're playing cricket, it's 100, isn't it? And if you get 99, you're going to be gutted that you don't make 100.
Yeah.
Or if you shoot 70 on a golf course, it's one short of making 69. And it's the other way around in golf, isn't it? Although it's a long time since you'd have.
When was the last time you had a 69?
At my age, I can't even remember. When was the last time you had a 69 on a golf course, Alan?
Never.
You've never broken 70?
Never broken 70, no.
You're joking?
No.
Really?
I shot a 70. That's my 200 was my best ever.
Oh.
Never had 60. No.
The first time I ever broke 70, I know this is golf and stuff. We don't want to bore you people listening, but I was playing at Sunningdale. I only broke 73 times ever, and I was at Sunningdale, and I needed a 4 for 69 playing the last, and I hit a decent drive. I had a 7-iron, but it pulled it fractionally. It ran through the bunker at Sunningdale on the last, and I was on a downslope, and I've got a chip over the bunker, and the flag is like I've short-sided myself. It's on a downslope, and I'm thinking, oh, I've screwed it. I've got no chance. But I just thought, right, have a go. So the downslope opened up the lob wedge, and I thought, just swing slow. And as I'm addressing the ball, someone's on the first tee, and he went, good luck with that, mate. And it was terrible. It was Ernie Els, right?
Oh, right.
And I thought, for God's sake, this is all I need. So I thought, and I hit it, and I went slow, and it went flopped up in the air, landed 2 inches over the bunker, went down, went straight in the hole.
Really?
Straight in the hole for 68. And I immediately looked around at Ernie Els, and he was pretending to do his shoelaces up. and I went, you saw it, and he turned, he went, fucking do it again, mate.
I thought he was South African.
I know, I can't do any accents. Anyway, sorry about that. I just trying to make it all about me. Mateta as well, by the way. I think worthy of a mention. The last 2 months of the season, he's ended up with 16 goals.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, that partnership. I think they're also worthy of a mention as well. Eza and Elise. Now I know they've been injured a lot, but when they've been together and when they've been playing, they've been fantastic. Yeah,
they have, absolutely. Yeah, they're just a totally different team with those three up front. Carry a huge threat.
Yeah. So I think that's our team's completed.
Yeah. Still haven't got a clue what system I'm using, but I've picked 11 players.
You have. Right, let's read out our teams. I'll read out your team. I'm not even going to go anywhere near your formation, Alan. Yours is Pickford.
Yep.
White, Gabriel, Saliba, Rice, Rodri, Ødegaard, Foden, Palmer, Watkins, and Haaland.
Yep.
I've got how many have we got different? Let me see. You work it out. Pickford, Walker, Gabriel, Saliba, Udogie. At least I've got some kind of system. Rice, Rodri, Palmer, Foden, Saka, and Watkins. Congratulations to all those players. They probably won't care, but anyway, well done. You're in our teams. We're going to rattle on. And go to Player of the Season. Phil Foden won the Football Writers. We're yet to hear the PFA Footballer of the Year. And what are your thoughts, Alan? I think we've got a few contenders here. We've got Cole Palmer, Martin Ødegaard, Phil Foden, Rodri, Declan Rice, and Ollie Watkins, and they've all had fabulous seasons.
Yeah, I would have narrowed it down to 4. It was Foden, Palmer, Rodri, or Rice for me.
Same.
But I think the outstanding player of the season is Phil Foden.
Phil fucking Foden.
What a great saying. It's going to stick, or as already.
Before the nicknames go. It's like a boxer's nickname, isn't it? You know?
Yeah. I mean, those who we've mentioned have had great seasons, but I think he tops a lot, Phil Foden, for me. He has to have it with everything that he's done. We've mentioned his goals, his assists, and everything else, and just the way he's stood up this season. I think he's been the outstanding player.
Yeah, spectacular goals as well. Spectacular goals at times. Yeah, I think we both agree with that one. Philip Foden. Rodri's. I mean,
I know
you could easily have given it him as well for what he's done. Declan Rice has been amazing, as you said again. Okay, let's move on. Young player. We're making it a proper young player or rookie of the season. We're going, pretty young on this, not because I think when they do it with the Football Writers or they do it with the PFA awards, they tend to go 23 and under, which I think is too old nowadays. I mean, Phil Foden's won 6 titles and he's still 23, so he qualifies for that and there, but not in our competition. He doesn't qualify. We've come up with 4 names. Your very own Lewis Miley, I think, who's done terrifically well. We've got Conor Bradley at Liverpool, Jared Branthwaite, and Cole Palmer. And I think there's a clear and obvious... Yeah. Clear and obvious, that dreaded statement. Cole Palmer, I think for me, 34 games, 22 goals, 11 assists. We've talked about him when we talked about our teams of the season. Absolutely superb performance from him this season.
Yeah, it's just the way he's carried Chelsea. At times you were thinking, is anyone else going to stand up and help him? But at times he didn't need it because he's been their go-to guy. In times of trouble, they had to look to him. As I said, penalties, big goals, big performances. For someone so young, for someone so inexperienced, to do what he's done this season has just been nothing short of miraculous.
Yeah, nice to have a mention for these young players. Tell us about Lewis Miley. How well do you think he's done? Because he was thrown in when the team he had a lot of injuries, but he kind of, I think he ran out of steam a bit in the end. But boy, oh boy, I thought he did remarkably well. I mean, he's so young, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, there's always been talk about him and his potential, and yeah, it was too early for him, but he was chucked into the team and at a really difficult time when there was so many injuries. But I thought when he was in there, he was outstanding. You know, his energy, his ability on the ball, and it looked as if nothing fazed him in a really difficult period. You know, when Newcastle weren't at their best. But he can take great pride in what's happened to him this season.
Yeah, 2 from Merseyside. Conor Bradley, I thought, did really well. Only played 11 games in the end, but you can see the potential he's got. I think he's going to be a top player. And Jared Branthwaite, 35 games in a kind of first season is quite something, isn't it? And I think he's got a lot of potential.
Definitely.
Yeah. You know, he's got a terrific attitude. I think he's been superb for Everton this season.
I think it's been a great learning experience for him this season as well, hasn't he? He's gone up against the very best in Haaland, and once or twice was being done, but nothing fazed him. He kept on coming back all the time, and another one who can be very proud of what he's achieved.
Yeah, and one quick mention actually for a late addition, because he was signed by Crystal Palace from your old club Blackburn. Adam Wharton.
Oh, yeah, incredible, wasn't it? That looks an unbelievable bargain. That, you know, I think it's about 20 million from Blackburn, but he's looked so comfortable, hasn't he?
Oh, he really has, and he's been one of the differences in Palace's kind of renaissance. Okay, signing of the season. We've got here possible Declan Rice, Kudus at West Ham, who's been really good. Cole Palmer to Chelsea, or Mickey van der Ven. What do you think, Alan? Or you can come up with anyone else.
Van der Ven was impressive. I know he had an injury. Had one or two difficult moments when he played Newcastle, I remember. But he's had a really good season in what Spurs have done.
Maybe we should say Adam Wharton in there as well, because we just said he could end up being signing of the season.
I think the outstanding two for me are Palmer and Rice, aren't they?
Yeah,
we've spoken about them a lot. Yeah,
those are the two that I came down to, and I'm actually going to go to Palmer because Rice was 105 million. So to say signing of the city, you expect to get something a bit special for 105 million, and they have got something very special. But Cole Palmer, 42.5 million quid, which at the time we thought, blimey, that's a lot of money. But he's been so staggeringly good that I would.
I agree with you. I'm going to say Palmer as well for all of those reasons.
Manager of the season. It's always normally the person that wins. It's so hard to go against Pep Guardiola, isn't it? But I think Arteta's had a good season. Unai Emery, very, very special what he's done at Aston Villa. Sean Dyche's remarkable efforts in keeping Everton up despite their points reductions. Gary O'Neill and Iraola kind of... Iraola stepped in Gary O'Neill's shoes, and they've both done well. But what do you think?
I mean... Arteta, I think they've improved again. They've gone toe-to-toe with possibly the best team Premier League's ever seen against the best manager. So, Yeah, he's had a great season. Emery qualified for the Champions League. Sean Dyche, with all the shit that he's had to go through and the points deductions and everything else, I think he's been superb. But I think it's very difficult to look away from Pep and winning that fourth title. No one's ever done that. So fourth on the spin, I would have to go with Pep. I know he's got better resources than anyone else, and the players that he's got are unbelievable. But to keep on going and motivate and get the best out of all those players and get number 4, I'm going to have to say Pep.
I'm going to have to agree with you. You can make a case for all the others, but ultimately what he's done, I think Unai Emery is, very special to get into a Champions League spot. I don't think anyone saw that coming, but
yeah,
as you said, what Pep does and the way he reinvents the game season after season in some way, his tactical acumen and his brilliant thinking and his drive and his energy and what he gets out of that City. I know that, obviously they've got great players, but you wait and see the difference to Manchester City when he does call it a day. Yeah. You wait. And then we'll realise how good he is. So Pep wins that one. Our goal of the season, well, it's easy, isn't it? We actually did it on Match of the Day, didn't on Saturday night, you and Righty. And it couldn't be anything other than Garnacho, but special mentions to Michael Elise's goal at Luton, where he went down the right cutting top corner. That was incredible. Marcus Rashford's strike. I thought Cole Palmer's goal, where it's the little nutmeg, the back flick. That would have been in my. That didn't make the top 3 on Match of the Day by the voting, but it would have been in my top 3. And that calm finish, because it's a bit different. It's all very well just smacking one in from 20 odd yards and 30 yards.
Yeah, I agree. It was a brilliant goal, as was Elise's against Luton, the way he went past the players and what have you. But yeah, there's only one winner and goal of the season.
Caicedo on the last day, we had to whiz that quickly into match into the goal of the season contenders, before we'd actually shown it in a match.
Yeah, it was. And his first ever goal for Chelsea. I mean, what a way to score it! Just a yard inside the half, wasn't it? So that was a great goal. But Garnacho was his goal of the season.
Yeah, unquestionably. Yeah, one of the greatest overhead kicks we've ever seen.
And he was walking away from goal at the time, wasn't he? He was going the other way. So to get that technique was ridiculous.
Yeah. We've got one here with the surprise of the season. I think it means surprise player rather than, surprise present or something. Mm-hmm. So we've got Endo, Havertz, Trossard, Solanke, Palmer, Watkins, Barkley. Barkley's worthy of a mention. I think he's, performed really well for Luton. Obviously they went down in the end, but we've mentioned most of the others. Trossard's been very important for Arsenal at times. Come on, Havertz, I think he's done better than a lot of people thought he possibly would. But Cole Palmer for me, I mean, he's got about three awards. Cole Palmer.
So he should do. He's been superb in everything he's done.
Yeah.
Let's hope. Same with England.
Absolutely. So that's it. Don't take these things too serious. You can you're perfectly entitled to disagree with us and and pick your own winners. But hopefully that was has given you a rough idea of what we think. And it's been a cracking season though, Adam, isn't it? It really has.
It has been an outstanding season. I mean, Liverpool pushed them all the way, faded away the last month or so. Arsenal, as I said, but I think some of the football this year, some of the goals, we're seeing more and more goals, obviously because of the number of minutes that are now being played. High-scoring games, goals galore. I think it's been an outstanding season and one I've really enjoyed.
Absolutely great. It's been a lot of fun, very enjoyable, and it's we've done a lot of podcasts as well this season.
That's been fun, hasn't it?
It has.
This has been one of the better ones without Richards, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he'll disagree with us when he comes in, but if he wants to go off and do these, gallivanting around Europe with his mates, then so be it. That's it for this episode. We'll be back on Friday with a special interview that I've done with Kasper Schmeichel. We did a long interview, and honestly, it's really, really special. I think you'll really enjoy that. He's incredibly articulate. Obviously, he's been through so much in his career, the Leicester miracle, and also he talks, with great gravitas about the tragic death of the helicopter of the Leicester chairman, of Christian Eriksen, and various other things in his career. It's very frank, very honest, very open, very emotional. So I think you'll really enjoy that. But for now, that's it. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.